Democrats attacking the foundations of the American Union. A closer look. The Democratic Party's recent efforts reveal troubling actions that many argue are undermining America's most critical institutions. From attempting to reshape the judiciary to eroding electoral processes and blurring the lines between legal and illegal voting, Democrats are seen by critics as prioritizing power over principle. These actions raise concerns about the stability of the American Union and the fairness of future elections. Targeting the Supreme Court. The Democrats have openly criticized the Supreme Court when rulings do not align with their agenda. After recent conservative majority rulings, figures like Represor Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez suggested court packing, saying, "We are witnessing a judicial coup in process." Twitter, June 2022. This call to manipulate the number of justices jeopardizes the court's neutrality and sets a dangerous precedent. Senator Chuck Schumer warned justices, "You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price," during a public rally, further intensifying the attack on judicial independence. The Electoral College endangered Democrats continue to call for the abolition of the Electoral College, arguing it disenfranchises voters. However, the college was created to ensure smaller states are not overshadowed by larger, densely populated areas. By pushing for a national popular vote, the party risks concentrating political power in urban centers. "If we don't get rid of the Electoral College, we'll continue to have minority rule," said former presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren in 2019. But critics warn that such a shift would unravel the balance between states and the federal government, undermining the American principle of fair representation, voter registration, and immigration. The Democrats' opposition to stricter voter ID laws and their support for policies that allow non-citizens to vote in some local elections have drawn criticism. When you have illegal aliens voting in elections, it's not democracy, it's fraud, former President Donald Trump said. Many see the combination of mass immigration and lax voter registration laws as a deliberate attempt to reshape the electorate. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has voiced concerns, stating, "If elections aren't fair, then democracy itself becomes a charade." The question arises, are Democrats committed to election integrity, or are they exploiting vulnerabilities for political gain? Vilifying political opponents. Former President Trump has become the focal point of relentless investigations, indictments, and negative media portrayals. Trump asserts, "This is the single greatest witch hunt of a politician in American history." Many see these attacks as an effort to discredit his policies and hinder his influence in future elections. Rather than addressing real issues, Democrats have made Trump the scapegoat for many of the nation's divisions, deflecting from their own shortcomings. Eroding the union for political gain. Underlying these efforts is a troubling trend: the prioritization of political power over national unity. The attacks on America's institutions and electoral processes signal a shift toward control, regardless of the cost. As columnist Victor Davis Hanson warned, "If elections are seen as merely a means to secure power at any cost, then the very concept of democracy is at risk." Conclusion: a call for accountability. The future of the American Union depends on the willingness of its people to defend its founding principles. The attacks on the judiciary, the electoral process, and voter integrity threaten to unravel the republic's foundation. America must hold its political leaders accountable and demand respect for its institutions. Without this vigilance, the very framework that has sustained the nation for centuries could crumble, leaving power in the hands of those willing to sacrifice principle for political gain. This moment requires not just political reform, but a commitment to honest debate and fair elections. Only by returning to the ideals of accountability and integrity can the nation preserve the American Union and ensure that the democratic process remains intact for future generations.